So we're live. Let me go to my YouTube.
Now maybe talking some shit too. So I don't know if you're
You said what?
I said maybe talking some shit too. So I don't know if you're.
Let me go to my YouTube. Hold on a second. Okay with that. It's okay. All right, start talking. Just talk about anything. I want to see if I can hear you.
Now maybe talking some shit too. So I don't know if you're
All right. You said what?
I said maybe talking some shit too. So I don't know.
So
I heard that.
Yeah, so okay. that was online. All right, so people can hear you. So
okay, good.
So let's try to keep the cursing to a minimum if we can, brother.
Yep.
But all right, so this is good. So we just went through a whole debacle and trying to do it, you know, with the links and coming in live, but we can take care of that later. You know what I'm saying? That's something that we can handle at another time. So right now, let's just get this topic out of the way. Let's talk about this conversation because we've been talking about it for a minute.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, and then I haven't really looked at what other people have been saying about this. Have you?
No.
No, but all right. So, go ahead.
I heard a few things. You know, a few people talk about the W.A.P, talk about different things, but they went into different. They was hitting different angles from a different angle.
Okay.
From one another.
It sound like normal. You know, most people like hitting the W.A.P from a different angle anyway.
Yeah.
So, anyway, but besides that, you know, so brother, like in truth, I'm kind of like, look, I know that hip hop, I know that in the entertainment industry in general has been used as a weapon, you know, against people, not, you know, people of African descent, but people in general. And that I've already accepted. So this is where I've come. I've already accepted that this is what I will see. I will see downgraded images of Black people in the media. And so I've stopped analyzing. Like, it doesn't surprise me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't react to like WAP. You know, it's not something that, you know, it's not something that is like new to me, you know, but apparently right, it's not because I've been through it. I guess I'm desensitized, you know, like, but these younger people, you know, they're like, oh, it's the biggest thing. Oh, WAP, da 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 da. But that's because they're young and they haven't been exposed to what life is like in our culture.
Right.
You know, so like that's, you know, WAP. So what was the girl? There's always some girl who makes her money, you know, by keeping, you know, the idea in women's mind that their power comes through their body. So there was okay, before Cardi B, it was Nicki Minaj, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we got Cardi B, we got Nicki Minaj. Now we got Megan Thee Stallion, Cardi B, Nicki Minaj. Who before Nicki Minaj? Little Kim.
And then Foxy Brown.
Foxy Brown.
You know, Trina.
Yeah. All right.
You know.
And then, yeah, because in the 90s, really, you didn't have Black women. The woman, of course, it's always been about the body and about, you know, sexualizing who they were. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't to this level and degree. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you know, the 90s, the freakiest thing I remember was Aaliyah.
Yeah.
You know, it's age ain't nothing but a number. Going down ain't nothing but a thing. You know, her talking about her abuse by R. Kelly. And then, but you really didn't have, I mean, Sir Mix-a-Lot, wasn't he? I like big butts and I cannot lie. Right?
Yeah.
You know, you had that, but you've always had people talking about their desire for, you know, the sex of the woman. You know what I'm saying? But just what it's evolved into, I mean, it's become just like something else, brother.
Yeah, they think they're getting power by through this what I call Barbie doll feminism. You know, they want to be cute and girly, and they want to be sexual.
Did you call it? Wait, time out. You called it Barbie doll feminism?
Yes.
Oh.
Barbie doll feminism. And so,
yo,
around,
what is Barbie doll feminism, brother?
So that started around somewhere around 2010, 2008, something like that, where the feminists started coming out and they want to be cute and all that. This new wave, it could be the fourth wave. I call it Barbie doll because they want to be cute and all that and still have the original. They want to be under the guise of the original feminism. They try to blend the fourth with the first and the second. You know what I mean? And really, this Barbie doll feminism is just girls just wanting to have power over men through sexual content, or sexual characteristics, and reap the benefits of just being the average girl, reap the benefits of being a Barbie doll, right? Because this Barbie doll stuff really started with the Kardashians,
Right. I remember that. Yeah, Kim Kardashian and what's her old girl's brother, Monique's brother. Was it Monique or Brandy's brother? Ray J.
Brandy's brother.
Yeah, Ray J. When he wasn't that Kardashian that he did on camera?
Yeah, they did that video together, that porn video. And then, but what I'm talking about, like as far as the way the girls are acting, well, I went over there to the house and he just had a little bit of an attitude. But that type of shit. They try to be cute and girly and get money from the
brother. Watch the language, brother.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
Yeah.
They try to be cute and girly and get money from the dude, like the way that the gold diggers and then the just some type of girl that's up to something would try to do, right? But then they want to claim to be feminist.
But do they claim to be feminist, brother? These I mean,
that's why I call it Barbie doll feminism.
So time out. You're saying that the people running around with this WAP stuff, you know what I'm saying, are also claiming to be feminists?
Many of them are, yes. Many of them are.
With this WAP stuff, you know what I'm saying, are also claiming to be feminists? I'm trying to hear you.
Yeah, they're riding the feminist wave. They're riding the feminist wave, and then the feminism, the fourth wave feminism, and then this Barbie dollness blended together, and then that became female empowerment for 2010 all the way to now.
So what do you mean by fourth wave feminism, brother?
So the fourth wave is the reason why I call it the Barbie doll feminism, because a lot of these women that were this came around 2010. A lot of the women that were claiming to be feminism were claiming that that they can take, we can get the money from the men, we can do this, we can do that, and men can be our slaves, and men can lick our shoe and all this. They're talking like this, and but they're claiming to be feminists. They're thinking that this is female power to dominate men, right? That was their form of female powership or whatever. They got songs about it. They got the W.A.P. You know what I'm saying? Homegirl, I don't think she claimed that. I don't remember Nicki Minaj ever claiming to be a feminist. But and I can't say that homegirl, what's her name, with the W.A.P song, I can't say that she claims to be a feminist. I never heard them say feminist. But the feminist rhetoric of the fourth wave, which I call Barbie doll, that's why I call it Barbie doll feminism, is because it had blended in with the female empowerment culture. So the female empowerment culture, which is where the W.A.P and the Nicki Minaj and other certain female celebrities, YouTube celebrities, as well as Hollywood celebrities, that blended in together with the fourth wave feminist movement. The fourth wave feminist movement and the and the women's empowerment blended together. It became one thing. So now it's indistinguishable from the other. And then what happened is the women that were truly into actual feminism, they had to go back and claim, many of them had to go back and claim to be, third wave, second or first wave.
Okay, so what was the third wave?
Ideologies of feminism.
Okay.
And so, because they had to stay away from the Barbie doll feminism. Barbie doll feminism is what is where the Me Too developed through, and so did the what is it called? Why is this? I'm picturing it. I'm imagining it right now, but it's slipping my mind. Where women were going out in the streets dressed with stocking and pantyhose and slut shaming, the slut shaming, movements and stuff like that, or the anti-slut shaming, whatever they call it. With with that girl with the short hair, she was one of the lead people in it.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-mm.
What is her name? She used to be a stripper, I believe. And then women wanted to show their bodies. Now I know you remember the events that happened all over the country where the women would show their bodies, and they'd be like they have like parades or something like that.
Are you talking about back in the day though? Like what year are we talking about?
We're talking about 2010 through 2020. We're talking about all the events that are taking place. Do you remember I'm trying to remember the name of it. Where they had like the either the festival or something like that, where the girls are wearing the Nana hats and stuff like that, or
Nana hats. I'm not familiar with none of this. Now, brother, well, let me tell you. Wait, time out. Let me tell you about me though. Like, I stopped really paying attention to entertainment and all of that from like 2008. I would say until 2012. Like I really didn't start going from 2008. I didn't go to a movie again until 2011.
Right.
So, and I definitely wasn't listening or paying attention to anything happening in social media or in mainstream society. So I don't know any of this. And then I started watching stuff again in the December of 2011. And then I remember saying to myself, like seeing these concepts again, I was just like, well, I decided to accept what I saw because I know what the game is. So, okay, I don't know if I've seen what you're talking about.
Did you see any of the events with the girl wearing, the vagina hats and all that? And then
some reason, yeah. Hold up, I do have them. I do got a kind of like 2012. I remember this stuff happening.
Well, there was 2017, 2016, 2015.
Okay.
You don't remember any of that? It was still happening. It was still happening then, and it was against the slut shaming, and so I forget what is her name with the short hair, light skinned black girl with the short hair. She was real popular for a moment, and she even did a couple of Hollywood movies. I forget her name, but she was one of the main people that was getting publicity through this whole matter. And so that was part of the Barbie doll. I call it Barbie doll feminism. Some people call it fourth wave. I call it Barbie doll because it's not the same type of feminism that really gave women their power. And they feel that the women would get power through expressing their sexuality, which they can. This is true. But you're not going to get power over men by giving men what they want sexually, which is what the W.A.P song speaks about entirely. That is no type of female power. That's male power.
I don't know. I think people would disagree with you on that, brother. I know.
No. Did you hear the lyrics?
I got the lyrics right in front of me.
The lyrics talk about her going down on dude, riding the dude, swallowing, and all this other stuff. Okay, that's power for men. That's not empowerment for women. That's sexual pleasure for men.
It is.
That works for men. It doesn't really work. That's not something that
women like to do.
You would hear women brag about certain things like that, but that will be far and few in between. Most women, if they want to be, if they consider themselves wanting to be respected, they'll come from a different angle with things. Yeah, you hear.
Well, no, yeah, I agree with that. The more mature, the grown, the respectable woman, that's not something that she's going to talk about, nor something that's done per se. Now, you know, no, but for the younger, inexperienced, immature girl that's trying to be accepted, I guess, yeah, you're right. For the younger, immature girl that's trying to be accepted by the man, this is all that she's doing. And then that's trying to manipulate and use a person, you know, and get them to, you know, essentially, I guess I'm looking at what they're saying, pay for them, you know, pay them to do stuff.
Like the sugar babies and all that really became popular after 2010.
Well, there's always been sugar babies, bro.
No, but not popularized like it is now.
You know what, though? I agree with you. I think a lot of things are more popular now because of the internet, though. Yeah. So I agree with you 100%, but most things are more popular now because more people have access to different levels of information. So
that too, yes. And
right.
And the thing is, there's been a movement to push what we could call sugar. I guess they call it sugar culture.
You know what? But but I remember a song that came out. Some guy, I forget the song, talking about he's in love with a stripper. What's that brother's name?
I don't remember.
I remember everybody's saying giving him heat for that, being in love, because he was talking about being basically a John or whatever.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I remember.
But that's when they first T-Pain.
That was him?
Yep, T-Pain.
Okay.
You know, that was the first cat talking about I'm in love with a stripper. And It's like, you know, glorifying essentially, and nobody, you know, the song was dope, but I don't know if I don't remember anybody really, you know, saying like, okay, this is something that I'm really feeling, you know, because essentially they're talking about like glorifying, you know, being a trick. And that's not good whatsoever.
Well, see, the thing about it is, there is, you heard of OnlyFans?
Who?
OnlyFans. It's a kind of like a website where different artists or content creators can put their stuff on there, and they get more. How can I say? They get more benefits than they would from other websites. Like, okay, let's say, for example, you can say that you heard of Pornhub.
Okay, I would imagine it's I mean, you don't have to tell me what it is. I know what it is because of the name.
Okay, that's a real popular name now, Pornhub, and then there's ManyVids, and there's all these videos where people can create content, and they can create sexual, explicit content and stuff like that. OnlyFans is another version of that, but OnlyFans is known to give the artist more creative power and more financial benefits. So OnlyFans is real popular, or at least they're trying to make it so.
But then
celebrities, musicians, and everybody become part of it. And then what's different on OnlyFans versus other websites is OnlyFans. All the content, what you call the thumbnails for the content, the video thumbnails, are all blanked out. In other words, they're like they're hidden. They have a veil kind of in front of it, and somebody have question marks or something like that in front of it, so that you can't see the content and you can't click on it and get a preview of it versus the other website. The reason why we call OnlyFans, because only a fan a person that really is into that a particular artist created content, or model's creative content, would go and then purchase anything on there, purchase a subscription with on there through that artist, without ever seeing a preview of what is there. So a fan doesn't care. Fanatics don't care. Superman fanatics, Batman, they don't care as long as there's productions that has been created, for their fandom. You know what I mean? For them to celebrate, for them to get into that works, or a particular character, or a particular personality, or something like that has their own website and their own show and creative content. And so OnlyFans is one of them. OnlyFans has a lot of girls on there that feel that they're getting empowered by expressing their sexual side.
Yeah, but these websites, everything that you're talking about, man, this is a problem, brother. This is what it sounds like. It sounds like, with the W.A.P, with everything we're talking about, essentially it's still programming people to believe that their power and their personal expression still lies in their sexuality. That's what this. Yeah. So the OnlyFans conversation seems to only come into play, if people, as far as like getting people to still be stuck in that lower level of consciousness in which they're just seeking desires and pleasures.
This is true, but that's why I said there's half truths here. Yes, women will get more power through their sexuality. It is very true, but not through the way that the W.A.P is putting it out there, right? Not through that. You can say W.A.P and you can get power through the W.A.P, but not the way. What is her name? Why am I drawing blank on the girl's name that sing the song?
Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion.
Cardi B, not the way Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion is putting it out there, right? And then the people behind the scenes are men that are either writing the songs or something like that and putting together the music video. It's men. And they're catering to a male audience. That same male audience is the same type of male audience that go to minivans, that go to OnlyFans, Pornhub, Christmas sale. Even females go to these particular websites. That's the thing. They're catering to that group of people, and they're making a lot of money doing it.
Okay.
The only thing the Cardi B's and the Meg Thee Stallions would be guilty of is actually being a part of it. But the imagery and everything she was talking about comes from OnlyFans and Pornhub culture. I'll call it that for now.
Wow.
That whole song. I said, and then upon listening to someone else read off the lyrics, I'm like, what? That sounds like Pornhub and OnlyFans culture. Because I still to this day, to this moment, I haven't heard the W.A.P song yet. But the lyrics, somebody was reading it to me, and I said, what? That's direct. That's straight Barbie doll feminism, Me Too, OnlyFans culture. That's what that is. That's what she's promoting. That's the idea she's promoting. Everything she's talking about. She even mentions, I think, if I'm not mistaken, she even mentions OnlyFans in her song.
I'm looking through it here. I don't see it.
Look for it to say. I know for a fact. They had that one song. What's the song called? It has a nice beat that I like with Meg Thee Stallion. That other cute girl, whatever her name is, Doja the Cat, Meg Thee Stallion, Doja the Cat, and somebody else. I think Beyonce, and Beyonce mentioned OnlyFans in that song.
I remember somebody saying Beyonce mentioned I remember that. Mm-hmm. So, all right, brother, we don't want to promote that here though. Let's.
No, that's not promotion. That's talking about.
Yeah, I got you.
Happening.
I got you. But you know what? Maybe Yeah, all right. That's very yeah, okay. So this is where the people are. This is how people, it's clearly definitely had an impact because so many people are into it.
Yes, so many people are into it, and so that. But we're going to talk about yes, there's a movement for female empowerment through their femininity and through their sexuality. Yes, women do need to free themselves sexually. There's been the other way that they try to promote, and this idea comes a lot from Hollywood. The other idea that they try to promote, and I don't have anything against. I don't have anything against LGBTQ community or people out there that want to do what they want to do. I don't have anything against that. But another way that they promote female empowerment through their sexuality is through women getting with other women. And a lot of movies come out where these girls leave their boyfriends and then want to become sexually free, so they'll get with a female, and that will be their example of being sexually free, and it has nothing to do with sexual freedom at all.
Well, in the entertainment industry in general, they're switching the narrative now, where it's like, which is it? The Grammys. The Grammys is music, right?
Yes.
What's the movie one called?
Oscar.
The Oscars. In order to receive an Oscar, in order for a movie to be nominated for Oscars, it has to have a black. There has to be. They have to have one of these elements: either a black male role, a black lead role character, or LGBTQ whatever character, right? So what that's gonna do is that's actually promoting that way of life in the community, and it's gonna have the direct effect of turning more people that way.
Yes.
And it's not only going to have not just the people being influenced, by the media that they're watching, but the people that actually want to go into acting.
Yeah.
And so what you're going to end up having is these people, you're going to have an explosion of this culture.
Yeah. I mean, it already exploded.
No, it's the difference between a grenade. What we're watching now is a grenade versus the atom bomb. It's about to be an atomic bomb explosion of that culture because of what they're doing.
I don't know where you are, but the atomic bomb already blew up over here. The atomic bomb already blew up, and we're already under the fire.
Okay.
And so right now we're trying to put out all the fires and shit. And like I said, it's okay for people that are really into that. If that's their thing and that's what they do, that's fine. But don't make it seem like the only way women can get in power is to go their own sexual power and stuff like that, and sexual amnesty is through giving in to men and the pleasures of men, and giving in to the pleasures of lesbianism. That's not empowerment for women to go either of those directions. The sexual empowerment is for women to take control of their own sexual gratification rather than depending on the dude all the time, right? If the sex wasn't good, then everybody blames it on the man. Oh, that means the man wasn't taking care of business, wasn't doing this. No. He learned, men, we are not taught that we have to depend on women for our sexual gratification. Yeah, we need a women to have sex with, but we're not taught that if the sex isn't good, then it's her fault. We're not taught that. We're taught to go in and have sex with a girl and experience pleasure. And on the individual basis, maybe it could be their community, maybe it could be their culture, whatever. Different men have different outlooks on how and why it would be important for the woman to be satisfied. But the woman's satisfaction level should not depend on what the man is doing. She needs to embrace her own sexuality and embrace her own pleasure of sexuality within that sexuality. She needs to empower herself and give herself the okay to receive sexual pleasure. Give herself the okay not to think like she's not what the women need to understand is you're not a hoe or a whore because you like sex. You're not a hoe or a hoe or whatever.
Well, remember language, brother, language.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah. So, but these are things that women that I heard women say. They think because a lot of women think because that they would like sexual pleasure, they want the sex all the time, that they got to be a woman of low character, low value. No, that's not it at all. It's time for women to get out of their head and get into their body. I mean, yeah, keep your head intact and be conscious of things, but at the same time, don't let your mind block you from having sexual pleasure. Enjoy the sex that you're having. Experience sexual amnesty by not comparing yourself to men. Men are not the standard for women. Women must set the standard for themselves on sexual, compatibility, sexual pleasure, sexual amnesty. You got to set it for yourself. You got to give yourself the okay to be able to, open your legs to whoever you want to open your legs to, and then experience sexual pleasure with that person. And you must give yourself and allow your body to experience those pleasures. Don't block yourself by thinking about what he's doing all the time. Nah. Don't focus on what he's doing. Focus on what you want. And then when he does what he's doing, you do what you do. And then you receive your sexual pleasure by trying to give yourself sexual pleasure through that intimate connection, that intimate contact. That's what women need to learn to do. It's not about giving into men and then going down on them and getting to different sexual positions that men enjoy. It's about what sexual position do you enjoy yourself? For the woman, what type of sexual position do she enjoy herself? If Cardi B and Cardi B, Nicki Minaj's, the Foxy Browns, the Little Kim's, if they were able to write their own lyrics, what would they actually say?
That's a good one. I wonder what. So Meg Thee Stallion, when she first, I don't know anything about her, so that's fine. When she first came out, she came out via like YouTube and Facebook, and she was writing her own lyrics.
Yeah.
So what was she talking about? That's a good question. Let's find out.
Yeah, we're gonna find out what would women actually talk about. What would they have to say if they did everything themselves? In Hollywood, they talk about women taking charge of their own stories,
right,
and so on and so forth, writing their own stories, all that. Yeah, what would women have to say if they write their own?
Well, let's look. Okay, Meg Thee Stallion. Man, holy crap! Hey, live. What's up?
We do need to get those tickets.
All right, give me a second. Meg Thee Stallion, what she was talking, it looked like she was talking about the same stuff.
Yeah.
Hold up. So when she was writing her own lyrics, though. So,
okay.
But what the only problem is what the entertainment industry has promoted for women is that they have to use their bodies and they have to use this type of sexuality in order to do something and become something. So their bodies are controlled. Essentially, their bodies and their minds are controlled by the dominant social narrative. Essentially,
right.
In order, I mean, they can do their own thing, but they're going to suffer the same way everybody else does. I have to go through. They're not going to reach as much success if they don't give in to the stereotypes that society has set for them.
They won't reach as much financial success.
Right. So that's essentially, that's really what we're talking about. But when I look at Meg Thee Stallion's music, I mean, I'm not looking at the lyrics, but she looks like she's conforming to the narrative. Big old freak. This was Tina Snow back in 2018. I think this is when Freak Nasty 2018. It looked like, let's see, Hot Girl 2018, Sex Talk, essentially still using her body to get herself forward. And
pretty much.
That's what, and then how do we change that narrative? We're not in control of the institutions that promote that narrative, but we do have some control over, at least we have the social media aspect where we can promote certain images and certain ways of being that's more productive for the people in general. But then at the same time, you named off a whole bunch of sites and everything else that I'm not privy to, and a whole bunch of other people are not, but that maybe the younger generation, they are, you know. And then there's a certain, there must be a large number of these people. So like, and then look at the times that we're in, brother. Maybe it's just a time where people are exploring, but well, let's look at this, man. When you really look at it, the sexualization of the black female image is something that's taken place ever since African Americans found themselves in the condition that we have in this country. And so you've had black women, you've had women in general being used and abused for their bodies by this Western patriarchal culture. And so, but prior to the explosion of the media, that's just the way it was in the West. That's just how and women have had to deal with that situation the whole time. Now, what's ended up happening is recently, so like with the media, you basically had men controlling the media and then constructing the narrative and the images that people had to conform to in order to be successful. So, you know, and this is that whole conversation where, you know, if you're too old, this is across the board. As a woman, if you're too old, your career was over. They're looking for women between the ages of, you know, 16 to 25, 24, whatever that case was. And so you had them consistently constructing a specific type of narrative in order to be successful in the entertainment industry. And so right now you have like women, the black woman's narrative, that her only way of being successful in this society is to sell her body, essentially, or to use her body to gain power and control and to get ahead. Now, what that ultimately what ends up happening from that. So in the media, sure, that's what happens, right? You get there. But as that trickles down to everyday society, you have sisters, you have brothers out there going and engaging people on this level. And what ends up happening is somebody gets pregnant. Ultimately, that's the goal of all of these, you know, videos, all of these movies, is to have the young people go out there, go engage and have sex with each other, and somebody gets pregnant before they're ready to have a child. This is ultimately what this media campaign is for. And once they do that, hold a second. That are disease or something. Once the person has a family but doesn't have the means to support that family, they're in a roller coaster ride of low poverty hell, essentially. And this is the effect of this music on the younger generation. This is the effect of these images. Not you're talking about, you know, the personal effect of constructing the consciousness and the psychological nature of the woman in general, and how she achieves power and how she achieves sexual pleasure in the act. But the social ramifications of simply just of continuing to promote women getting power through sex and promoting these over-sexualized images of women on the community in general is that men see women as sexual objects. Women begin to see themselves as sexual objects, and people engaging each other in that way, and then having children.
No, but what I'm saying is
but then having the children in such a way where there is not a strong family structure in place to take care of that children, thus promoting more chaos within the community. That is one of the true ramifications of this type of music. Now, what were you saying?
Now, what I was saying also was political, spiritual, and it has something to do with God itself. If women can't free themselves sexually and depend on men for the way they dress, depend on men for the sexual pleasure, depend on men for social acceptance and all that, then women are going to forever be in a spiritual prisoners of male energy. And so that's what I'm talking about is what one of the things when we talk about this thing with the whole sexual act stuff like that. I'm talking about even on that level, even on that level, that's an example of where women disallow themselves and take power from themselves and give it all to the man. That's where that act right there is you take a picture of that act right there is an example of women giving their power away to somebody else and them being dependent on male authority. They give him the authority in the bedroom. So when you give the dude the authority in the bedroom, he just don't have authority in the bedroom. He has authority all over the place. If he has that authority, and then you're going to confuse that when you have if you have a relationship with this man, you're going to confuse him and have the power in every aspect of your life, and really he doesn't. Really, he doesn't have power in the bedroom or anything like that. Women got to free themselves from just what you've been talking about. Everything you've been talking about is true. Women need to free themselves of all of that by evaluating all these different things in their life and seeing the importance or non-importance of these different aspects of their life and society. Women are not given the time to really do that. They're being detoured and railroaded in this direction and that direction, except for in their own direction that's beneficial toward them. You know, a lot of this came out. A lot of this is taught to them in the schools. You have a girl who talks one way before she goes to college and before she had the women's studies classes. She come back from the women's study class, talk about intersectionality and feminism, and then all this other stuff about women empowerment, and none of the stuff that she talks about empowers women. Not even when they talk about women having an unfair wage gap, and it's like, you say unfair wage gap, but you guys don't really work at the same places that men work. Women are not going to want to do construction, put on hard hats to do construction. Most women don't want to do that.
You're saying most women are, you're just saying like, you're generalizing right now.
Yeah, so most women.
Generalizing,
these are what women are talking about.
I'd agree with that.
Most women, they don't want to do these hard jobs that these men are doing. And if those women that are doing those jobs I don't see them complaining. I ain't seen not one person, the women that are doing these heavy, hard lifting jobs, complain about a wage gap. I haven't seen women in the hospital complain about a wage gap. You got women that are nurses and you got women that are doctors, right? This wage gap thing, I can't say that it's a myth because I'm not at all businesses to see these certain things.
But it's definitely not a myth, brother. It's not a myth.
And I can't see where it's absolute truth. I can't see where it's absolute truth because if men and women can work at the same jobs, and a lot of times you'll see women making more money than men. So that's why I bring up the myth word, because a lot of times you'll see women making more money. Yeah, you got a lot of women that are CEOs. You got a lot of women that are
well, when you say that. Okay, I'll let you. I don't want to cut you off. I don't want to do that. Okay, sorry, brother. Go ahead.
Women that are they graduated top of their class at certain colleges. I mean, some of them prestigious Ivy League colleges, whatever. You got women that are doing this and doing that made success stories out of themselves. And they get into their career fields and they're very successful and they make a lot of money. But I don't even hear those women complain about a wage gap. You know what I mean? And then women got to understand the historical principle and value behind paying men certain wages and stuff like that. Because men, for one thing, are expected to take care of the house. Men are expected to pay for dates. Men are expected to pay for the car, pay for the house, pay the bills, and all that, and so forth. And take care of women and the woman that they're with. They're expected to do these things in order to be considered a man. So, in one aspect, if it is true that there's an extreme wage gap, then one can argue that as for a reason why there will be a wage gap. But since have a lot of since over the last 40 years, we've had mostly single female-headed households, then it will behoove this society to pay women more, not necessarily more money than men, but pay women enough money to be able to sustain themselves, living and a family that they may be taken care of. There's that, but
Brother Dennis, I gotta run right now, brother.
Just tell me how many minutes.
Oh, you gotta run?
Yeah. Let's pick this up later though, bro. This was a good learning experience for both of us.
Were you on YouTube or what?
Both.
Oh, you was?
Both YouTube and Facebook.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, we've been live now for about 45 minutes. So we're good. But yeah, I gotta take care of something at the house here.
Oh, okay.
All right. But this has been good, brother. This has been definitely good. We gotta do this again.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
Give me a call later.
All right, brother.
All right.
All right.
Shimotep.
Shimotep.